Hi, everybody. I'm Ty, Screen Love Affairs senior Five Nights at Freddy's correspondent. Here as always with my junior Five Nights at Freddy's correspondent, Adriana.
Yeah, I would say I'm more of an intern, but
Yeah, the FNAF intern.
yeah.
Yeah, and we're here today on the Screen Love Affair podcast to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Um, yeah, let's
Yeah,
get into it.
I
Adriana
think
and I saw it opening night.
yeah, this is going to be a very special episode of the pod.
Incredibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It's
did
just
see
the
it.
two of us.
Just the two of us, the only ones that wanted to go, the only ones with taste, I think.
Yeah, the only true fans
Yeah.
of cinema and the theatrical experience.
But yeah, we went to see it opening night. I feel like this episode is really just going to turn into me interrogating you because I'm kind of an outsider to all of this, and I am sort of fascinated by it from like an anthropological perspective. But
Yeah, well,
we'll do our
I
like high level
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, our spoiler free,
Yeah,
and then
we'll just
get
get into it.
Yeah. So I'll let you go first.
Okay.
I guess for the spoiler free thoughts as the outsider, you know.
Yeah. I would okay, so it's a sequel. Sequels are historically tough, especially for like horror movies. Like I think it's hard to pull off a sequel that's better than an original in a lot of cases. I felt personally like I had more fun with the first one, but I think that's primarily because I know nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's, and this one is a lot more like there's more like references and lore and things like that. I think my overwhelming takeaway was like this movie is not made for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's and you don't care about it or like don't even know what it is, this is not for you. What did you think? What were your kind of overall thoughts?
Yeah, I think my sort of like surface level thoughts are like, if you don't like Five Nights at Freddy's, don't bother. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, absolutely go for it. And if you really, really love Five Nights at Freddy's and it's like your whole bit, I don't know. Because I've seen a lot of discourse online from like the big fans that don't like it.
Yeah.
People talking about like characters being different or like it's just weird
Yeah.
stuff. It's a very strange community. It has its like small sections that are a bit undesirable.
Well,
But
let's get into it. Like, 'cause as a fan, I guess, how true to the spirit or like lore, whatever, was this movie? Because I have no idea, and I've seen mixed things. Like, I've seen a lot of people say like, because I was curious about this, so I googled
yeah,
like opinions from actual fans, and I was also like very fascinated by the strange cult like, because I don't really get it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't get it. Like, I'm just like, is it supposed to be like kind of a meme? Is it supposed to be actually scary? Is it funny? Like, what's the appeal of this like big animatronic, Chuck E. Cheese analog? So I like did a bit of digging, and yeah, I have seen some mixed things of
yeah.
like some people are like annoyed with the changes, some people are like really loving, some people are like still dog shit. I don't know.
Well, it was. Let me find it. It was actually beautifully put by the tweet that I sent you a screenshot of earlier. Somebody said, as a FNAF fan, this was absolute cinema, and as someone who has basic respect for film and storytelling, I've never seen worse dog shit in my life. I think that, yeah, like we said, that's sort of like about the perfect way to put it.
Kind of sums up the whole, yeah.
Yeah, like, cause it's one of those things where like cause I'm not like a huge FNAF fan. Like, it's one of those things where like I've tried to keep up with the lore and everything over the years. Cause I was 15 when the first game came out.
Hmm.
And so
Which
now
was 2014,
it was 2014.
right?
Yeah, so I was like just finishing elementary school, going into high school when it came out. I remember it was this fucking huge thing. It came out of nowhere. And I don't know what it was or like why it took off so much. I think just because it was so interesting in a way of like, oh, like on its surface level it's a game about killer animatronic, Chuck E. Cheese robots.
Hmm.
But then, people started looking deeper into it and they realized that like, oh, there's all this like secret lore and story. And then Scott Cawthon, the guy who made the games, like he just made so many games so fast. Like I think like 1 and 2 came out in like the same year or very close to each other, and then 2 and 3 were like super close together.
Yeah, I think I read that it broke a Guinness World Record for most entries in a franchise in like a shortest in the
Yeah,
short
like
period or something like that.
because overall they're like pretty easy games to make. Like, this is like the first couple, right?
Yeah.
And so like he could just pump these things out over and over again, and then each one of them sort of expanded on it. And so then that was like, you didn't stay for the gameplay, you came to like get the next piece of the lore, the story, and just like this expanding thing. And then it's multimedia now. There's books, there's
Hmm.
movies, there's even, like I explained to you when we did our rewatch of the first one, that like there's an activity book, that's just like crosswords and like, connect the dots and
Yeah.
shit like that. And it has lore in it. Like shit, like there was like huge reveals in this activity book where like people were like, holy fuck, like these 10-year-old questions finally answered. And I think that's a big part of it, is just like how it's this sort of like this mystery that like everybody gets to participate
Hmm.
in. I feel like that's why it's sort of so successful. That's why it's so big. And then, yeah, I think over time, like with culture, like modern culture nowadays, like it becomes a meme, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of the small things in that movie that are like a lot of people were laughing at. A lot of them were memes. Like when he picks up the little bear and it starts going like, "Hur, hur, hur, hur," like that's a meme. Like just
Which, yeah, I think a big part of why this was such a like underwhelming experience for me is because all of that stuff just like went over my head. Like people were like losing it at like things like that, like oh, and like
Yeah,
audibly reacting, and I was like
yeah,
not up, like I didn't get the reference, so I felt really like not only out of place but like a little out of touch, and I I was thinking about this and I was like I really felt my age.
yeah. Well, it's just like, especially too, like yeah, you haven't kept up with it, and like it
Yeah.
is, like it was an event basically when we went. Like there was people in full costume. Even when I
Yeah.
went today, there was still people in
Even
costumes.
yesterday when we went to see Kill Bill, I could clearly see some FNAF fans out and
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. There was like, even today when I went, full costumes, like all sorts of shit. People walking around with the popcorn
Yeah.
buckets and everything like that. I wanted to get a popcorn bucket, and then I was like,
It's
$60.
steep. It's steep.
It is. I was like, that's too.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of love that aspect of it for like I'm glad the fans get to have that experience. I think it's a really cool thing to see people going to the movies. It's something we talk about on the podcast a lot. It's just like the movie going experience, and it's cool that these FNAF nerds get to like have their moment. Um but yeah, I just felt so acutely like a fish out of water.
Yeah,
um
I remember the exact bit where I realized, where like I remembered almost that you have like no idea what we're seeing. and it was the bit where it's when Josh Hutcherson as Mike Schmidt like lifts up the flashlight when he's in the FNAF 2 security room, and right before he lifts it up you can see Shadow Bonnie, like the dark, like the shadow, like of the rabbit animatronic. It's just there for half a second
Yeah.
as he lifts the flashlight up and then it's gone. And I remember everyone in the theater
Lost
like,
it.
oh yo, holy fuck, you know. And I just remember I looked over at you and you just looked so like,
I remember that moment distinctly because I don't know, I did not see the shadow for one, but also just
oh
didn't
okay.
like it
It's a
totally
real like blink and you
blink
miss
and
it
you'll
sort
yeah.
of.
And I missed it and then also didn't even if I had seen it, I like wouldn't have gotten the hype around it, but
Yeah.
I don't want this to just be me being like, I don't get it, like um but yeah, I think even as a movie, like just setting all that aside, it has its flaws.
No, absolutely. I thought to myself today as I was watching it for the second time, and Toy Chica shows up and she starts talking, and I just remembered that it's Megan Fox, and I just thought, why the fuck is Megan Fox in this movie? She's got like 4 lines, and you know, like, get that bag, girl. Like, I'm happy for you. You
I
know,
totally
you were.
forgot that too until after the movie, and I was like, "Oh, right." I didn't even clock her voice or anything.
No, yeah, like her voice is in the movie for all of 3 minutes less. And just like it's yeah, it was just like stuff like that. I'm like, why the fuck is she here? That could have been anybody. Like, you know, Matt Pat, the guy who did all like the big Five Nights at Freddy's like lore and theories and stuff like that back in the day. Like I guess he still does it, I think. But like he was Toy Bonnie, the rabbit, the blue one.
Okay.
But I remember it was so funny. So like it was a big thing when they revealed that he was gonna be Toy Bonnie. Like the community and everybody online was like freaking the fuck out. But then I remember when he spoke in the movie and he was doing like a cartoony, like high pitched voice, and I heard people like around us being like so confused, and I heard somebody go like, "Is that Matt Pat?" Like what the fuck, like. But you know, it was like one of those things where like I don't know why I assumed he would just do his natural speaking voice. Like
Yeah.
part of me was like, why would he? But like for the like all this time leading up to it, I thought he was just gonna do his normal voice.
He had a cameo in the first movie, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the waiter at the diner that
Right,
says
right.
that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and then he practically looks right into the camera and goes like, "But that's just a theory." Because I remember I laughed at that pretty hard when we saw it in the theater originally. When you and I saw the first one. Um, yeah, it's as a movie, it leaves a lot to be desired. But as a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, it's pretty good. And you can see that like on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, like the critic versus audience score. Whereas like with critics, it's like 11%, and with audiences, it's like in the 90s.
That's yeah. That's a pretty wild differential.
Yeah, just like because it's people that watch movies versus people that watch 8-hour FNAF lore videos.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think the thing with the first one was it was dumb in a fun way. Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember laughing, maybe bits that were unintentional, but like I had some fun. But this time around, I don't know if it was just like I don't know why, but things didn't land quite as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like the attempts at humor, I felt like were like overly cheesy or like not quite landing. Even there's a lot of jump scares I
Yeah.
don't think a
There's a
single
lot more
one.
than the
Yeah.
first one. I think the first one only has like 2.
Yeah, you could barely call it a horror movie, I guess.
Yeah.
I really think these movies are hindered by a PG-13 rating. Like, I think if they really went in and, like, went full, like, R-rated, like, Chucky, like, just go for it, like, it
Yeah.
would
Just
find
lean into
a
it.
bigger audience and be a little bit more fun. But as it is, it's kind of towing this weird line of kind of trying to be scary, but also appeal to, like, a younger fan base, maybe? I don't even know how old, like, the average FNAF fan is, but there was definitely, like, some young people in the audience.
Yeah, there's definitely younger people because, like I said, the first game came out when I was like going into high school,
Yeah.
and so it's people like my age and younger
Mhm.
that are like generally fans. But I feel like the bulk of the fan base is not much younger than I am, like a few years. But like, I went with you opening night, and we went to like it was like 7 o'clock. And it was all like teenagers and young adults.
Mhm.
Like it was like the average age was like 16 to 20 something. And then it was the exact same. I went today at it was 1:30. I think I saw like maybe 3 kids, and then it was still the whole place was packed, like packed to the gills, and it was still like 16 to 20 somethings.
Yeah.
Like
So, I mean, they could have gotten away, I think, with an R rating, but I guess
they don't want to close that door, I
yeah.
guess. But I really think it would do better in the long run if they just went in on it. Because I remember, you and I went into it with like a bit of hope because we had seen the interviews where Josh Hutcherson said, like, oh, it's really pushing the boundaries of
Mhm.
PG-13. And then Matthew Lillard apparently asked the director during like an early screening if she was sure it was PG-13 and not rated R. And I feel somewhat lied to by
Yeah.
by Matthew Lillard, if that was true.
I think they oversold it a little.
I feel like most of the like borderline R rating was from some of the language,
Mhm.
because there's slightly more blood in this one than there is than in the first one. And then somebody says dick, somebody says shit, and I think that's it.
Yeah. There's some implied gore that is like maybe
Yeah.
a little more gnarly than the first one, but it's still implied. Like you don't see anything. There isn't even much blood, like you like you said.
No. Like at
So
one point somebody smears some blood on the wall, and then most of the time you just see blood like splatter on
yeah.
something. Like whether it's the wall or like Wayne Knight's glasses. Wayne Knight was also somebody I did not fucking expect to see in this movie.
No, me
I
neither.
wasn't I didn't know he still like worked, Like
I
I can't
haven't.
remember the last thing I've seen him in.
No, me neither.
And he did pretty well, I think.
Yeah, he
With
played.
like about as well as he
Yeah,
does. Yeah, he was the
it's
like
one note character, but he played that
yeah.
one note well. Yeah,
Yeah, he is like he's just like scummy teacher.
yeah.
Like
He was
when he
such an asshole. Like why? When he broke her
because it's
toy, her
for
fucking
science
project.
fair. Yeah. Well, because I don't know if this is because yeah, that plot line is I guess the science fair is like district wide. Like there's multiple schools at one science
Yeah, and
fair.
they're competing as a class, a school,
I
representing
think
the
as
school. Yeah,
yeah, like there's every class at every school in the area goes to one science fair, and they get judged as like a unit, not individually. You are like part, like it doesn't matter if somebody has a super amazing project and someone has a mid project. Uh, like you're all graded on
yeah.
one scale together.
And you're competing against other schools for some reason. Like that, it doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense. But
and the Otters are on a 3-year winning streak. 'Cause I remember like the one of the only like actual jokes that made me laugh was like the school motto:
Yeah, me too.
otters otter help each otter.
Yeah.
There was one of the jokes that doesn't land for me at all, and I don't think it landed when we first saw it, and it didn't land when I saw it today. It was when Josh Hutcherson and Vanessa, I can't remember the name of that actress. She's good.
Elizabeth Lale,
Okay,
who I
yeah, yeah.
know from You, the first season of Netflix's You.
Oh, there you go. But when they're at the restaurant and not Matthew Lillard, Josh Hutcherson eats a breadstick, and as soon as he does, like a waiter comes over and is like, "Oh, excuse me, sir," and like brushes the crumbs off of the
Mhm.
table with some sort of implement. Like it's just like it looks like a weird metal scraper thing.
Yeah.
And he goes like, oh, and he just looks awkward. And then later on, Vanessa takes a bite of a breadstick, and then the same waiter comes over and goes, "Oh, pardon me, ma'am," and scrapes the bread off the table. And then he goes like, "Yeah, they like to do that here."
Yeah.
I was like, even today watching it, I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke. I assume it is because of like sort of the timing of it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the kind of jokes were in a similar vein where it just like it was like kind of cringy writing and it like
Yeah.
it didn't land, so it just like stands out. That one is probably one of the biggest examples. That and like the performance, the kid is like not a good actress, which
I was thinking that today. I remember in the first one, I remember her being not great, but better
better,
in the
yeah.
first one.
I feel like
Cause
when you're at a young enough age, there's like less awareness of you're what's happening when you're in a movie, so you're just like less inhibited or whatever, and it's like there's less expectation. But once you get to that cusp of teenagerhood
yeah,
acting, it's like game over because you're more self-aware or something. But then I recently saw Hamnet, which wildly different tone, but that has one of the best child performances I think I've ever seen, or like a very good one. So by comparison, it just stood
yeah,
out especially to me how bad
yeah,
this girl was. But
yeah. I remembered watching the first one with you again, and I was like, okay, like she's not great, she's not bad. And then at the very like one of the first scenes, or like I guess the second scene she's in the second one where she's on the bus, sort of recapping the first movie almost to like the kids on the bus, and it just sounds so weird. um like it just like the way she's like reading
mhm.
it, it sounds like she's reading it off page for the first
Yeah.
time.
Which I don't want to shit on this kid too much because
No,
she's
no,
a good. I think a big part of it too is just the writing. Like, you have to
yeah,
have good
you
material and
work with sort of
direction.
like what you have. I someone who I think does FNAF dialogue well, that's a weird sentence to say, is Matthew Lillard. I think he's sort of a standout in these movies. So fuck you, Quentin Tarantino, you hack. Matthew Lillard is my goat. All right.
Wait, did he
Uh,
criticize Matthew Lillard?
in the same Paul Dano fucking speech that he did, he just like he lists off like two or three other actors, and then right at the end he goes like, "And Matthew Lillard, like I don't like that." He calls him Lillard. Matthew Lillard, I don't like that guy. He's not a good actor. And I
God.
saw people like doing like the meme where it's like 50 Cent being like, "What do you say fuck me for?"
Yeah.
Like just like because Matthew Lillard's like not in that much stuff.
No.
Like
That's such a weird. Like, why is he. Quentin,
like
if
why
you
is
don't
he
have anything nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah, and we know you watch, Quinn. Uh, like big fan of the pod. Yeah, like he's because Shay mentioned it earlier because me and him were talking about it, and he's like, you can say that about Paul Dano because Paul Dano's like in stuff.
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard's like not in much.
No.
and to just sort of just fucking come at him like that, especially as like one of the biggest people in showbiz, you know? Like,
Yeah,
it's just kind of fucking weird, man.
it's so funny. I didn't know he attacked Matthew Lillard
Yeah,
too for no reason.
I saw Matthew Lillard was at some sort of like convention or something, and he brought it up. And when he mentioned Quentin Tarantino, people started booing. But yeah, like even he's not in this movie very much,
Mm-mm.
but what he has, like that dream sequence, I really liked. Just from what it has, like the very first shot when Vanessa is at the one end of the long hallway and he's in a doorway at the other end. And then the doors, like there's a bunch of Scooby-Doo doors like
Yeah.
across this hallway, and they start opening and closing, and then suddenly as one of them finally closes, Matthew Lillard's just like right on her, just running towards her almost. I liked that. That was sort of a cool visual. I feel like a lot of the way that dream sequence was done was pretty cool, and like I said, Matthew Lillard is like absolutely a standout in these movies. Easily like the best performance in them.
Yeah, I would
Besides
agree.
some of the puppeteers, I'd say. But like, because I can only imagine how much of a nightmare it is to wear those
Hmm.
suits. but but yeah, like the best actor I think in these movies easily.
Yeah, because he's just like, he understands the assignment. He's like,
Yeah.
and it's a fun role to play too, right? He's like,
Hmm.
he gets to chew the scenery a bit and like play it up, but he does that kind of sinister, heel turn very well in the first one, and then I agree. I thought the dream sequence was probably like the most interesting part of the movie. It's such a like low bar, but it's a small
Yeah.
bit.
It's like 3 minutes in this movie maybe. And that was another thing that floored me. It was right before the dream sequence, because that was a big thing in the first one, is like this sort of weird lucid dreaming kind of, where like you like you relive a dream, and like you're physically in this dream, I guess, because in the
Astral
first movie,
projection.
yeah, you're astral projecting into your dreams, where like Josh Hutcherson is trying to like get clues to find his kidnapped brother in the first one by going back in his dreams to the day that his brother was kidnapped. And so Vanessa goes back to a time she spoke to her dad or something. And one of the things she puts on her shelf is the toy plane that Josh Hutcherson's dead brother had. That Matthew Lillard, I'm assuming, gave to her after he killed Josh
Right.
Hutcherson's brother. So
I
I
forgot
remember,
that the
I remember
toy
thinking,
was the brothers.
yeah. And so all I can think of is like, you're just gonna keep that, like, and like, and she, because it floored me. I was like, first of all, she still has it.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's still in her possession. Like, I feel like that's a moment where she like gives it to Josh Hutcherson. It's like to remember him by whatever fucking blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, you know?
I totally forgot that the plane was the brothers. Cause
Yeah.
they like show the photo again in this where it's like
Hmm.
Matthew Lillard and like young Vanessa and she's holding the plane, which I guess that was, I forget if there was a moment where, but yeah,
Yeah, that's a moment in the first one, because
yeah.
whenever there's the shot where the car is driving away, and like Garrett, Josh Hutcherson's little brother, is like in the back, he's holding the plane,
Hmm.
because then they do like a match cut where it's him holding the plane to the picture of
Yeah,
Vanessa holding the
yeah.
little plane.
But
And so
the fact
she
that she
still
still
has it.
had it and they're like dating, uh, I don't know, very weird.
Yeah, like they're dating, but they're not dating, or like this weird, like awkward phase, and then at the end of it,
God, yeah, we have to talk about the way he
the
just
ending.
completely fucking. She's literally like her estranged brother. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
there are in lore there are 3 Afton kids, but also it's complicated. I think Vanessa in like the games is dead. A whole thing. I won't get into it or we'll
Yeah.
fucking be here all night. But it's so Michael Afton is actually a character you play as in a couple of the games, I think. Because the first time you play as him, I think it's 3? And it's 3 or 4. No, 4 you play as the youngest brother who died. It's a whole thing. And yeah, it is that also what a weird actor.
Yeah, okay,
for Michael.
when he showed up, the girls next to us were like losing it, and I couldn't tell if it was because they were laughing and stuff and giggling and throughout a lot of the movie. But anyway, especially when he showed up, I couldn't tell if it was because he was supposed to be some important character or because the actor was just fucking weird. And they were like, he has a weird face. Like I think I heard them talk about his eyebrows or something, like creepy eyebrows.
He has these weird,
very expressive.
Like, they're kind of cunty. I love it.
Yeah.
Like he's got cunty eyebrows. He's got like a sort of like but like creepy. Like I don't know how to like
toothy smile.
Yeah, big smile and like a very smooth face. He looks like almost like a Skarsgård, you know?
Yeah.
He looks like if you tried to grow a Skarsgård in a vat, or like if you tried to clone one. He looks like if you tried to like draw one of the Skarsgårds from memory.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, like it's like I mean he's not a bad looking dude. He looks creepy, which is for this character is good because it is a creepy character that gets worse down the line.
He comes back at let's talk about the end. He comes back at the end and is like, I'm gonna carry on my father's legacy, basically.
Yeah, him and the animatronics are gonna kill everyone in the town because he talks about they're gonna use Fazfest, this big Freddy Fazbear themed festival, like event. Yeah, like
cultural event.
that's going on in the whole town. And him and the animatronics are just gonna go and fucking kill everybody, I guess, because just because that's what Dad would have wanted. And then the original animatronics in the first movie come in and save everybody.
Yeah, and there's a confrontation at one point where Vanessa basically is like rejects her brother's offer to like, let's do this together to for her father.
His Darth Vader, join me, and she's like, no, this is my family, this is my home, and like referring to Josh Hutcherson and his kid sister. Yeah, Abby.
Yes, Abby. Shout out Abby.
Shout out Abby.
And after all of that, Josh Hutcherson just coldly is like, fuck you, Vanessa, I don't want to talk to you ever again, stay away from us. And I'm like, dude, she fucking rejected her own blood family and chose you, and you're like, no.
It's one of those things where like I get it. Yeah. Where it's like multiple times she has like withheld information that put the lives of him and his young sister like in peril.
Yeah.
And because even Michael says like something along the lines of like, oh yeah, that's my sister, like always holding the truth or something like that, like always stretching the truth, something like that. And so yeah, but to just like turn around and just be like, get away from me, like I don't like you anymore.
I also like I get it, but I think in the execution is just
it's horrible because this is like literally he does his whole like Darth Vader like join me and together we can kill half the town as brother and sister, and she's like, no, this is my family, and he's like kind of cool with it, I guess. and then the animatronics show up, kill all the other animatronics. The friend of Josh Hutcherson knocks out her brother because he just like stuck
He's
around, I
just
guess.
there at very opportune moments.
Yeah,
Like
he's like Gandalf.
the
He just
bit
shows up exactly when he's
yeah.
needed.
The bit that killed me was when her car breaks down or something earlier, and he's just there like, "Oh, Vanessa," and he's just like, "Take me to this place," and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
what are you
Her
like?
car breaks down and she's like, the radiator's broken. I don't know what to do. And she like throws away the walkie-talkie and is like on the verge of tears. And then he just pulls up and he's like, Vanessa? And she literally goes, "Oh, thank God," and just gets right into the
Yeah,
car and goes, "I need to go to Mike's right now." And he's just like, "Okay."
yeah, pure plot character. Like he's just there to I don't know, like
Well, it's weird because like he shows up immediately.
mhm.
Her car breaks down and he is there within the first like the next 10 seconds, which is like it makes him kind of pointless in the script because there's not enough time for like there's no like sort of like ticking clock of like, oh, I need to get there right now, like, oh, there's no like scene where it's the sister being chased around by the puppet or anything.
Mhm.
Like, as far as we know, the puppet already has her.
Yeah. And then even
You know?
at the end, he just knocks out Michael, but then Michael is gone the next time once they leave. So like Michael could have just run away. That character was not needed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's
Well,
literally just in the movie to give Mike a friend, to be like, he's not a weird loner. He knows people.
we we need someone for Josh Hutcherson to talk to that is not his sister or Vanessa.
Yeah.
And who's the only other person that he talks to from the last movie that isn't the weird school lady or like or Matt Lillard? Oh, the guy he talked to at the beginning of the movie before he gets fired from his job as the security guard at the mall.
Is
That's
that
the
the same
guy.
guy?
It's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
See,
The
I
guy
didn't
who
even
he shows him the dream book, and the guy's like, "Can I keep this?" Like that's. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. And they're like, "Yeah, we need somebody for Josh Hutcherson to bro out with,
yeah. The
paint the house."
the other thing, yeah, they apparently spent all day painting the house, but then when Abby gets home, the house is in the exact same state it was in. So they didn't. That's something that weirdly like stuck out to me. I was like, you were pouring out white paint. Those walls look exactly the same.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, there's nothing that really. I find an important thing for like horror, especially like in something where like a important thing is going to happen in a house, is like it's good to know the layout of the house
Yeah.
because then you can sort of think to yourself or like put yourself in that situation of like, okay, I know if she runs down the hallway and goes this way, it leads into this room, right? But yeah, there's no like, so I don't even know what fucking room he's painting. Is it the living room? Is it some bedroom? Is it
Yeah,
like a weird?
there isn't really a sense of place, even with the pizzeria.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same in the first one as well as
Yeah.
like, I feel like it relies once again on for like the fans out there that like know these layouts, you know. But even then, I don't think the layout really matches 100%.
Uh,
Just like the whole thing of the puppet being in the like this weird like dungeon basement. Like, I don't remember that being in the game. If I remember correctly, in FNAF 2, that has the puppet in it, because the mechanic with the puppet in the game is that you would have to look at the camera that the puppet is on and wind up the music box
Okay.
So then it would keep going, because if the music box ran out, then you'd get jump scared by the puppet where, wah, because they do the same jump scare a few times in the movie where it's the puppet with the arms like right out
Yeah.
at you. And so like that was a bit, is like you had to keep winding up the music box. But it was in like a prize room, if I remember correctly. Like where you go to pick out your prizes and everything like that. It was like in the corner there.
Yeah.
It wasn't in some like weird dungeon basement under the
Like
stairs
a
with the
stage.
huge like gears. It looks like a fucking Victorian clock tower.
And then the tunnel that the river, like, at one point they're like, let's go this way, and they go through the tunnel instead. But I'm like, isn't it just like a straight shot through the? Why would you go
Yeah,
this weird roundabout? The
it
the
feels
layout
like
didn't
you go
fully...
straight and then the tunnel's this way.
Yeah, and it's like,
So it's like
even creepier and darker
and wet.
and wet. Also,
we have
every
two
time...
characters that just slip into this thing.
Yeah. And every time they did slip in, I was like, why don't you just immediately get out? Like, it's just a little ledge. But the kid from the paranormal
the spectral
investigations,
scoopers.
yeah,
The
who falls
spectral
in.
scoopers, which I feel like there's an infinite number of better names that you could have used for that.
Scoopers.
Spectral scoopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he falls in. He stays in.
He stays in there. He walks in along. I'm like, dude, why aren't you just immediately getting out of that little moat? Like,
the fucking poo-poo water that's been there for the last 20 years. Because, yeah, I guess this movie takes place in 2002.
Yeah.
This is a post 9/11 film that we got going on here.
Yeah, because
nobody talks about it.
The 80s flashback was 82?
82.
Okay.
1 year before the bite of 83, which is a big lore event.
Okay.
That's when Vanessa's youngest brother dies.
Oh.
Yeah, because in the game, Michael, him and his buddies like lift up their youngest brother. I can't remember his name. But they like lift him up to a big Freddy animatronic, and they're like, "Oh, give him a kiss!" And they stick his head in his mouth, and then the kid's crying, so the tears hit the spring locks, and and it bites down on his head and kills him.
That's that's so funny.
It's a big lore event.
Do you think they'll get into that in the next one?
So I think so that's something that you learn about technically. This is so stupid. This is something you learn about in FNAF 4,
Okay.
where you play as that little kid as he's in like a coma in the hospital, if I remember correctly. FNAF 3, which is what they tease in the mid-credit scene of this one, takes place at a haunted house called Fazbear Frights, which is like an independent, like, it's not related to the company, but like they just like they buy old locations and like old stuff off like the internet and stuff like that, and they make haunted houses based around the stories of like the murders and things that have happened.
Okay. So it's getting
and
kind
at one
meta.
point Yeah, and at one point they reveal like, oh, we finally found like a full animatronic in like a secret room of an old pizzeria, and it's Matthew Lillard's character, technically, William Afton, as Springtrap, which they tease in the mid-credit scene, which is, yeah, there's a mid-credits scene, and then there's like a end credits narration by Skeet.
Skeet, yeah, let's
my
talk
boy
about
Skeet. Painfully underutilized in this movie.
Agreed. He's barely in it.
He's he's in it for, I think, like 2 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, one scene.
One short scene. And then he has his little narration at the end, which is like 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And from the sounding of that narration, it sounds like he gets attacked by Vanessa, who is now possessed by the puppet after being scorned by Josh Hutcherson.
Is there, okay, sidebar, but
Yeah.
was there any reason they changed it from the puppet to the marionette in the movie? Like, is that just a random change that people are like, why would they do that? Or
I think it was probably always officially called the
okay, but
marionette, but
people
everybody
just
just called it the puppet. Yeah, because it was one of those things where a big thing in FNAF is like they would show something and then but they wouldn't name it.
okay,
So then the community like would call it something in the meantime of like, oh, we don't know what this is called, so we're just gonna call it blank. And so I feel like the puppet was like a big
yeah,
one. We're like, yeah, there's a few things that are like that I
yeah,
think of off the top of my head, like the Foxy animatronic that they talk about is like a pull apart and put it back together and stuff like that. And I believe this was a community name. Everybody called it Mangle because it was just like all these mangled parts of like all these different animatronics like just mad together. And then yeah, now this time they call it or like pull apart Foxy or whatever the hell. And so yeah, I think that was the weird thing for me was how they made the puppet a lady, like a blonde lady.
is she
That's
not?
not no.
Okay,
So so in the game, Henry, which is Skeet,
yeah,
he created because he knew that Matthew Lillard was crazy, like they were business partners. He knew he was crazy. Um, or I can't remember if he knew he was crazy or like he just did this because crazy shit was happening at the pizzeria. He created the puppet to look after his daughter specifically. It was the security puppet. But then one day, yeah, it was just to like to just to keep an eye on his daughter Charlotte.
yeah,
But then one day, either Matthew Lillard or somebody else put like a box on top of the box that the marionette comes out of, so the marionette couldn't get out. And then while that happened, this is all in the game. Matthew Lillard killed the daughter, and then she possesses the puppet.
right.
To my knowledge, in the game, there is no mention of the puppet possessing random people or like needing to like possess a human being in order to
Yeah,
do things.
that bit didn't quite, because like there is the actual puppet that's in the
Yeah,
restaurant,
yeah,
and we see Charlotte's ghost at one point, like Vanessa talks to her there.
yeah. Yeah. It was when she puts the music box down because there's
Yeah.
the line read where she talks about like her ghost, her spirit was stuck in her final emotion. There's the big
Yes.
pause. Rage.
Which is visually expressed through just black dribbling eye
Yeah, bah.
rage. Um
Because she does the big scream as she's holding the passed out kid.
yeah. Um but then yeah, sh- the puppet's able to just possess random bodies, and that's that bit didn't I don't know, now that especially now that you're pointing it out, I'm like, yeah, what was that
Yeah,
about?
to my knowledge, that was never a thing. I could be wrong. I know there's, like I said, all these
Yeah.
books. Like I've never read any of the books. I've read like recaps of them and things. Um, but yeah, like that. As far as I know, that was never a thing.
And
Especially
then
because like there's the
possesses Vanessa at the end too, which
yeah, because it possesses the spectral scoopers lady, and then it possesses Abby, and then after Vanessa is spurned by Josh Hutcherson, it possesses her, which I love how they don't show how it happens, but you see the like POV go like right towards Vanessa's
yeah.
ass, and then she's possessed by the puppet now because the
It's
black like
I feel like
and her eyes go.
part of the spurning was literally just like contrivance to kind of set her up as like the villain for the next one kind of thing? Like, I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
it's weird because Vanessa is not a character in the games until way later, from what I remember. If I remember correctly, Vanessa is not like an actual character until the first VR game that came out,
Mhm.
where she gets possessed by William Afton, Matthew Lillard's character, and then you see her in Security Breach, where they have the famous the white woman jump scare. Uh, um, and so I remember like seeing the movie and seeing her and being confused, but like the games or like FNAF itself as this sort of like weird multimedia entity has always played with canon a little bit,
Mhm.
where they'll talk about how like the books are like these it's it's similar stories but like different universe kind of, where like it is a story that runs sort of parallel to the actual like canon, but
Like
is
a
not quite the actual.
multiverse sort of thing?
No,
Or it's
yeah,
just like
I wouldn't call it like a multiverse thing, but it's like I'm telling the story of this character, but it's not the actual story. It's just a story. I don't
right.
like
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's
Like
not like
there's canon and then there's like
this like weird half canon
yeah.
that like parts of it are canon, parts are not, like that, because
It's
like that's how we learn like Charlotte's name and stuff like that.
okay.
Charlie. It's a whole rabbit hole. Like I said, there's like over a decade of this shit where like some of it's good, some of it's not, and now like you know, because Scott passed it off to another like game studio. He still works with them for the story, but I think they do a lot of it. I could be
Okay.
wrong. So it's, you know, I truly believe the franchise like hit a point where they were like, I don't know, let's go back to this game. And then like, oh, you remember this little thing? Well, actually, that was really important. Like they just take this like
Yeah.
innocuous detail and then bring it back around
I guess that
to
makes sense.
something. Yeah, but yeah,
To go back to the weird possession thing, I wonder
yeah.
if it's like I wonder if they did that just to give um what's her name? The scooper blonde girl, cuz she's like kind of like an young actress. She's been in like a bunch of things to
Okay, is
just
she big?
give her more things to do. Like she's kind of big. McKenna Grace, that's her name.
McKenna
Like she
Grace.
was
She looked
in
familiar.
I think she was in Haunting of Hill House when she was younger. She's been in like a ton of shit. She was in like some of the new Ghostbusters. She was in Annabelle, one of the Annabelle movies.
Okay.
She was in Scream
Is
7.
is she like a Blumhouse like?
I don't know. She's just like, oh, she was in Malignant.
Okay, yeah. So it is sounding like she's like, because she's not in this movie for very long.
No.
We see her at the beginning of the Spectral Scoopers bit, like on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
We see them when they go to the FNAF 2 location and meet Michael. And then she's the puppet until.
Until Abby comes. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, she's not the puppet anymore before that. Because if I remember correctly, there's when Josh Hutcherson breaks into the pizzeria and he sees the withered animatronics, like the old crappy looking ones.
Yeah. The
He
prototypes.
see the prototypes, yeah. He sees those and then he walks like through that room and somehow doesn't notice the body. Because I think there's a body by the door, and if I
Yes,
remember
it's her
correctly, it's
body.
her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember wondering if it was Vanessa at first because they picked two, like,
Blonde.
two
Yeah.
blonde ladies. And so I remember, like, because it's sort of like a wide shot, and I just remember being like, is that her? Because then, yeah, she's just dead, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
Because she's got like black
presumably
like veins going up her face, and then
presumably the puppet left her to take over Abby's body, or
for some reason,
because I don't, it's weird. Yeah, and then the
well, because
body
they
was just
say
left over.
at one point like, oh, she needs to possess a person in order to like be more powerful or something, and then Vanessa's like, I think she's gonna try to possess Abby next or something like that. And I just remember being like, why? Like, she already has the spectral scoopers lady.
Yeah, why would she trade that body for a kid?
Yeah, like why? Like they never give a reason for that as to like why does it have to be Abby? If she already has a body, she needs a body or wants a body. She
Because
has
the
one.
plot necessitates it, Ty.
She wants to be a kid again because she hates parents.
That's
But
right.
also,
She hates all parents.
all parents, because she went to adults. Because first of all, it is kind of fucked up what these adults did to her. When she's like, I, I can't imagine what kind of asshole you need to be
Yeah.
that when you're at like a Chuck E. Cheese and a little girl comes up to you, it's like, I just saw a little boy get kidnapped, and you just go like, fuck off, kid.
Not now.
Like,
Leave me alone.
adults are talking.
Yeah, like, it was the 80s. It was a different time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you minded your own business in the 80s. Like, yeah, literally, like, she goes up to this one guy and is like, Mister, I just saw a little boy get grabbed. And he goes like, go tell your parents. And she goes like, but mister, you need to help me. This little boy's gonna get killed. And he's like, go tell your parents.
And she goes up to, like, another lady and she's like, adults are talking, please fuck off. Like, just so aggressive.
And so because of that, she hates all parents and wants to kill all parents.
Yeah.
Because all parents are evil, bad people.
Yeah, they just ignore the
except-
cries of children.
Yeah, except she kills Wayne Knight, who we don't know if he's a parent or not. I hope he's not, because his character's an asshole. And then there's like an older couple that we don't see a kid in their house at all.
She also kills all of the scoopers, and they're presumably
Young,
like teenagers, like, early 20s, whatever.
Yeah, she kills all them. She kills this older couple that we don't know if they have children or not, and then she attempts to kill the lady with the daughter.
Yeah. It's all adults. That's...
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing, though. They specifically say parents. Yeah. She hates parents. This is like all parents. So then also, like, is that why she wants to kill Josh Hutcherson? Because he's a legal guardian? Like, what? Does that count? It's like,
yeah,
is there no
a parent? Not
is
a good
there no
one,
proving? Yeah, is there no proving that you're like a good parent? Because that's like the thing too. When Toy Bonnie's walking up with like an ice pick, I don't think it's a knife even. Because originally when he like pulls it out of the knife block, I thought it was like the sharpening like rod.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be like an ice pick or something. And he's like, I'm gonna kill your mom. And like the little girl's like holding her mom and crying, like, don't kill my mom. And she's like, she doesn't fucking care about you. And it's like, I mean, the kid seems to not want to have their mom murdered. So I imagine they're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, like, but all parents, just because those 3 adults in the 80s were mean. Well, because then also Vanessa says at one point, like, oh, she doesn't blame my father. She blames the parents. Why?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you blame her father, who was like a insane child murderer?
She's not mad at the guy who killed her. She's mad at the parents that let it happen. And also, but not Skeet.
Which, okay, yeah, let's go back to Skeet, because I don't think we
let's go back to my boy Skeet. No, we didn't finish our thoughts on Skeet. It's because there wasn't enough of him. I wanted more Skeet.
I was really hoping for some interaction too between him and Matthew Lillard somehow, but I guess
even in flashback, that would have been nice.
Flashback would have been great, but yeah, just for that, Scream reunion.
Yeah, because especially because like I said, it's in that ending narration, it sounds like he gets attacked at the very least. And that's weird because he becomes a pretty important character down the line, like in the games at least. Like he has this like in FNAF, like this sort of like famous monologue that he does, but like yeah, it's so weird to me where like why is he only in such a short amount of this movie? Like I feel like, they had Skeet on set for a day.
I hate to say it, but I feel like the material he was given he wasn't very good, which I hate to say.
Well, it's because they sort of like force in. They're like, you need to just like you have like a quarter of a page of dialogue, and it's all exposition.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, yeah, he was my business partner, and like, oh, I wasn't really there for my daughter, and it was really bad, and then like there's no like, and it's just the bit when Josh Hutcherson leaves, and Skeet is just like, oh, this music box, I made it for my daughter. It helped her sleep. If you go back to the pizzeria, can you give it to her? Like, can you leave it there? Sure, man. I
It's like,
guess.
why haven't you just taken it there yourself? Like, presumably
Yeah,
you know where this pizzeria is.
yeah. You worked there. Like you owned it or part owned it.
Yeah, it was just odd.
Uh,
It felt very like, yeah, I guess contrived. Just like he's here to dump some exposition and make an appearance, and that's like kind of
yeah.
it.
I feel like it was there just for once again for the fans. Like, oh fuck, it's Henry.
Yeah,
Because even that, like, there's, I wanted more of him because he's good. Like
yeah,
he's in stuff, and I like it. Like even in Riverdale, he does what he can. you
yeah. I
know,
loved him in Riverdale. Every time he shows up,
as cool biker man. Like yeah, he's great, but then they give him so little to do
yeah.
in this that it just doesn't feel like it's once again it's a like I've been saying about a lot of things in this movie. I'm like, why?
Yeah, it feel a lot of it just feels pretty like disjointed and like you said, a lot feels very much for the fans, for
Mhm.
better and worse. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of fan service, but I don't think that's enough to hold together a
No,
narrative.
there's a literal like Avengers assemble moment for the original animatronics when they kill the toy ones where like they do something, they fucking kill the animatronic and they like look into the camera as it slowly pushes in on them. And that's a built-in applause break. Like and it works at the theater I
Yeah.
was in today. Even people were clapping and like, but yeah, it's reference for reference sake,
Yeah.
which I don't really like. But that's because I feel like I was talking to Shay about it a little bit, where um the first one, and you and I discussed this briefly, but like the first movie came out like 2 years ago, and it made a boatload of money in the opening weekend, but then it sort of petered out after that. Like not much happened after the opening weekend. And then that the big complaint from a lot of the fans with the first one was like it didn't have enough like little in references and things like that.
Yeah.
Like it was too generic. And so then the studio like realized, okay, the general public, like the general audience, isn't seeing this. The fans are. That's why it made like $50 million in like the opening weekend or whatever the fuck. And so then they're like, okay, we're gonna go super reference heavy on this one because we know only the fans are gonna see it. But now they've sort of hit this weird like barrier for entry where if you don't if you haven't been watching lore videos for the past 10 years, now you don't get it.
Exactly. It's it doesn't really work as a movie outside of the IP. if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's like I said earlier. Is it a good movie? No. Is it a good FNAF movie? Yes.
Absolute cinema.
Yes. It's Kino right there. This is yeah, there's like it's like I said, if you don't like FNAF, don't see it. If you like FNAF, yeah, go for it. If you really like it, you might love it or hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's really for the fans, and as someone
Yeah.
who is not a fan, um, it's definitely a movie I watched.
Yeah, I mean, but they also like we said in the mid credit scene there, they teased the third one,
They do.
and so we're gonna have to meet back up here in a couple of years or so to
Yeah,
to review the third one.
maybe by then I'll have watched a bunch of lore videos and I'll be up on
Watched
it.
them all, played all the games, read all the books, done all the activities.
Probably not. I'm not gonna make promises.
You don't want to do the the fox fucking draw by numbers. Like,
I'm curious to see. Okay, apparently it had a record opening.
yeah. Well, that was because like that was a big thing for it too, is that the fans that wanted to see it, they all went opening weekend because they all wanted to be a part of the online, like the discourse around it and like the theories and
Yeah.
the discussion. Which makes sense because it's a community that moves very fast. Like as soon as like this is a like a franchise where like if they post a picture of something, people were looking into like inspect element into the code of like pictures that they were posting to find little clues and hints that are in the literal code of the image and stuff like that.
That's
It's
crazy.
like if Five Nights at Freddy's fans and Swifties are some of the most dedicated like people I've ever seen,
The most
where
cult
they're
like?
yeah, 100%. Well, it's like we said, even when we went, people in full costumes. I've seen videos now of like people doing like these big things like in the theater. Like when we went, there was the I call it the Minecraft warning, or the Minecraft PSA, where they say like, "Hey," the PSA pops up where it's like, "Hey, don't scream, don't throw shit,"
Yeah.
like,
Don't disturb people around you.
yeah, and they showed that, and we got the warning, and then today when I went to the theater, an employee came in at the start and told everybody to like, "Hey, everybody, like, make sure to like." Don't disturb people around you. Please don't throw anything. So that makes me think that something happened between us seeing it and me seeing it
Yeah,
again.
well, because we saw it on the Thursday, which is not technically opening night, even though
Yeah.
it sort of is now.
It's
S-
opening night for the real fans like
yeah,
us.
which I was kind of surprised that there were pockets of like empty seats.
Mm.
But I guess more people just went on the actual opening night Friday.
Yeah, well, like it's when I went today, it was packed.
Yeah. Um, I was just looking up the numbers. So it's currently at 56.5 million opening weekends, which is the number one opening on the first weekend of December. It like broke the
Yeah.
record.
And it's Blumhouse too, so
Yeah.
they made it for pennies.
Yeah. But it's less than the first one made opening weekend, which kind of tracks for, I think.
I've still got a whole nother day.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Because I remember the budget. They made the first one for like 25 million. I think this one was like 30 something. So I mean, I'm already seeing stuff where Blumhouse is like, "Oh, don't worry, we've already started pre-production on the third one." So I feel like Josh Hutcherson's gonna be doing these until he's dead, and we're gonna get to the point where the girl that plays Abby is gonna be like 40.
Yeah. She'll
In
learn
the
how to
acting in these.
act.
She'll grow into
Yeah.
she'll grow into some talent. Uh, Oh god, Matthew Lillard's gonna be like 85, still going. Which, yeah,
Hey,
you know what? If he keeps up the performances,
if
you know,
these movies keep Skeet employed, they're doing a
yeah,
service.
exactly. He's not getting that CW money
No.
anymore. He's got to move on to Five Nights at Freddy's. Which, yeah, I want more Skeet in the next one. Do you hear me, Jason?
Give us more Skeet. That's all I
More
personally
Skeet.
want.
Yeah, the painful lack of Skeet in this one. I mean, the next one we should get a lot more Matthew Lillard technically. Um, as long as Matthew Lillard and Skeet are continuously in these, I will continue to watch because they are both gems, and I want Skeet to sort of show everybody what he can do, you
Yeah,
know?
me too.
Because, yeah, painfully underutilized in this one. Because, especially, yeah, like we said, the material he was given was uh, lacking.
Lacking it.
Like, just like half a page of exposition. Go! You got 2 minutes.
Give it your best. And he's like, he feels like a little like, I don't know how to describe
He,
it, but
he feels rushed almost. Like, he's like, he realizes that he has just such a short window of time and he wants to, like, use every second of it. Like, even
yeah.
just a line like right at the start where he's just talking like, "Oh yeah, we were at Freddy's," and he's pouring himself a cup of coffee, and he says like, "Are you sure I can't get you one, Mike?" You know, like something like that. And Josh Hutcherson's like, "Oh no, I'm good." But like, you just feel like the Skeet's in there. You gotta let
He's
him run. You gotta let him run wild.
he's doing what he can with
What he's
what
got,
he's
yeah,
what he's
which
given.
is not much, which is sad.
What did your friends think? Because you went with a group yesterday, right? What was that like?
Yeah, I went with a group of
Or
friends today,
today,
like all
sorry.
around. Yeah, yeah, all around my age, and it was a similar to like how I feel about it, where they were like, "Oh yeah, like not a great movie, but like it was cool for like all the little references and things like that." It's weird because like it's like I said, like, did I like it? Yes. Was it good? Not really. But it's not in like a so bad it's good realm either.
No.
Like not at
I
all.
think if it was, the
It
kind
would
of
have been better.
outsiders like me would have more of a good time with it. And yeah, it would be better. But yeah, it's in that weird zone of like the craft is not really here. Like there's not really anything that particularly stands out about how it's shot or lit or acted or written. Like, and if anything,
No,
some of those things
outside
are
of that,
like
yeah,
not
outside of
great.
that dream sequence is
Yeah.
um, like that's the only part where it like sort of approaches something above like what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
then also like I mean the animatronics are stellar. It's like I said when you and I watched the first one, I'm like, those Jim Henson guys really know what they're doing. Believe it or not. Um, the costumes are great. Like the actual like costumes, not the ones where it's just clothes. That's something I always hate in movies when like a period piece gets like nominated for costumes. I'm like, fuck off, that's just clothes. It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter like what time it is, it's clothes.
okay, but I'm gonna disagree with you there because like getting period accurate beautiful garments that are difficult to like make, and like I think that's impressive. Like you can't
For
discount.
sure, like if you're making like these big elaborate like ball gowns and like all these elaborate like outfits and things like that, sure, I get it to an extent. I'm talking about when it's like a movie that takes place in like the 60s
Okay.
or like the 50s, like something like where it's just like I have a cotton button-up shirt and some high-waisted corduroys.
All
And
right.
people are like, "Yeah, get that shit an Oscar." And I'm like, "What
I'm
the fuck are
more
we talking
I'm
about?"
more with you there. Like I agree. I think part of that is also like the fucking Academy's aversion to genre. Like there's a lot more interesting costumes that often get overlooked, I feel like, because they're just genre movies, but anyway. Um I okay, one thing I wanted to ask you about, what is with the like toy versus like why are they called toy Chica, toy Freddy? Like because they don't have fur? Like what's the difference
Yeah,
between
yeah,
the
yeah.
furry
Well,
ones and the non-furry ones?
so like the basic answer is like it's a way to sort of like distinguish like which versions you're talking about,
Okay.
because we're at the point now where like each character has like a million fucking variations where they're like, oh, there's Freddy, there's Toy Freddy, there's Withered Freddy, there's fucking Shamrock Freddy, you got fucking Christmas Freddy, you got like Molten Freddy, you got, and so yeah, it's just because they have that like sleek like
Right. Yeah.
plastic appearance, because technically those are like some of the older animatronics, if
Okay.
I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, it's just because they have that sleek sort of plasticky clean appearance.
All right.
That's why they're Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, yeah, Toy Freddy, because they just got that weird look to them.
Okay. That's what I assume.
One of the like cosplayers, I guess, even says it at one point when they're at Faz Fest, and Toy Freddy is walking through, and he talks about, I have to rip the head off of some bad parents or whatever. Um, and one of the kids says like, I don't know, he looks like a toy.
Yeah.
That's why.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
that's why they're the toy animatronics, and then they have the withered ones that are all fucked up and withered, and then the classic animatronics that die. I guess they go to heaven. They because they leave Freddy's, so their batteries run out, so they die for good, and now their souls get to move on.
Which I
I
love that
guess.
they only brought back the one blonde kid instead of
Well, so he I think is supposed to be Golden Freddy, which is like sort of like out of like all the original animatronics, Golden Freddy is sort of like the one in charge, kind of.
okay.
And so that's why, like, yeah, he shows up and is like, oh, I'm in heaven now. So sorry I died, like, it's just talking about how like we're moving on, and he's the one that's keeping Matthew Lillard dead in the back
Yes. Yeah,
room.
he's like,
And
I
so
can't
he
hold him
has his,
anymore. Whatever.
yeah, he'll come back and he'll be stronger, because that's Matthew Lillard's catchphrase. He says it in the first one, I always come back, as he puts the head on. That's his character, because that character shows up after he dies in other games like 3 or 4 times. Like, that's literally, he always comes back. That's the bit. Like, eventually he turns himself into a fucking computer virus and downloads himself into somebody's brain. Like, it's complicated, as there's a lot going on. Like I said, there's a time traveling ball pit. uh there's there's all sorts of things. We see Baby at one, Circus Baby, which is the animatronic from the dream sequence that Vanessa sees at one point when she's a little child running away from Dream Matthew Lillard.
And what is the significance of Circus Baby?
So Circus Baby was an animatronic created by William Afton that was for the express purpose of kidnapping and killing children. Because so literally what happens is it has like a claw in its stomach that like the stomach opens up, the claw grabs the kid and just pulls it inside and presumably crushes them to death inside the animatronic.
I
Um,
I love that the creator. I was reading up about this, so like I, you know, skim reading level of knowledge about it, but love that he's apparently like this huge like Christian and
Yeah,
like
I told you about it, where he made like a whole bunch of like Christian games before he
yeah, and
did
then
Five Nights
they
at
were like
Freddy's.
ridiculed, so he's like, "Fine, I'll give you child murder," and like fucking just
Yeah, because
total 180.
he did a game about like beavers, I think. And someone was like, these beavers look really creepy. They look like weird animatronics. And then I guess just a fucking light bulb went off in his head, and now he has $1 gorillion. and can just fucking do whatever the fuck he wants now. Because he made like most of those games by himself, made a shitload of money, and then now he just sold like the publishing rights to another company. And he's just like, all right, whatever. Just collects his
Crazy.
check from all the merch and the movies and
Books and the
everything.
crossword puzzles and
Yeah.
coloring
Yeah, but
books.
so Circus Baby is what kills Michael Afton's daughter, because he always tells her like, hey, you can go play with any of the other animatronics, but not that one. But she
Okay.
really likes that one. She wants to hang out with that one because she's like, oh, she's so pretty or whatever. And then there's like a small cutscene you see in one of the games where she like walks up to it and you see the claw come out and grab her, and she gets squinched inside the animatronic.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's
What a franchise?
yeah, as franchise. It's like it's a multimedia entity at this
Yeah.
point. Like books, movies, games, coloring books. There's even like semi-official like fan-made games that are like based off of stories in the books and shit like that. And yeah, it's I can't imagine that when Scott came up with this, like he knew that this is where this was gonna go.
I don't think
Pisses
anyone.
me off. I'm like, why the fuck can't I have any of these ideas? I just like a fucking $1
It's
gazillion off
the
of this shit.
luck of the draw, I think. You just have to
Yeah. Every once in a while,
time and
somebody just
place.
has that. Yeah, that one good idea. So, yeah, let's do a quick final thoughts here. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of it,
Here, well, let's give like a final score, sort of like on the screen love affair scale. I'd give it a like.
Alright.
Where, like I said, if you really like this franchise and you're a big fan of it, if you even, I'd say if you know somebody that really likes it, but you don't really know much, I'd say go. Like if
Yeah, if you're a
yeah,
me, like if you're
yeah. If you're an Adriana, like I'm sure you still had a good time.
yeah.
Like it's not a good movie, but it's fun. Um, so yeah, I'd give it a like. It's one of those things where it's a kind of a crapshoot. Like I one person or two people. It's kind of funny. The two people that we have not commented on performance wise are our two leads.
It's yeah. I feel like Josh
Yeah.
Hutcherson is just kind of serviceable. Like he's
Yeah, like it's you have your Abbeys, you have your Matt Lillards, and then right in the middle you have our two
yeah.
leads where they're like you're just like, yeah, they're they're good. They're not this good and they're not this bad, but they're right in the middle.
I think in general, like I don't know, I feel weird about these movies because I feel like they're very fan servicey. Um,
Mhm.
but if I was a fan of something, I would want it to be good. Like I would want it to be the best version of a FNAF movie. But it feels like the fans only care about just like getting their little like
Little bits.
little fan servicey scraps and like, oh, it's like just kind of seeing it on the big screen, which I think that's totally like cool if people are happy with it and like if that's enough.
I'd
Um
prefer for it to be done better. Like if it was a good FNAF movie, but then also just a good movie, I think that would be
that's like what you want, right? That's the ideal.
yeah. And yeah, like not only do I want it to be like have these little fan servicey bits and everything like that, but I want it to actually be good.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I can't really say that I liked the movie, but I'm glad I went with you, and I enjoy seeing other people have a good time, and I'm glad all of the fans, were losing it, and I got,
Yeah.
I'm happy when other people are happy.
I feel like you had a similar experience as I did last night sitting next to Evan at Kill Bill. Cuz like Evan hadn't seen it before
Yeah.
last night. And so you know, all of these like little twists and turns, like when there's the big reveal, like right near the end there, Evan like audibly gasped, and I was like, oh shit, like this, it got him, you know,
Yeah, that's
like there's,
infectious.
yeah,
I would say the slight difference in this case is I mean, Kill Bill I think is like objectively like fantastic movie. And like
yeah,
it's fun to see if you're already a fan of something to see someone experience it and like get joy out
mm,
of it. I think more than anything I'm just kind of baffled by all of the FNAF stuff. And that's fine. I don't need to like it. It's not for me. Um
no,
if you know nothing about this franchise, I can't really recommend it, but if you have a friend, you know what? Give it a shot.
yeah,
You never
they'll
know.
be happy.
Yeah.
If they haven't already seen it, they'll be happy
Yeah.
to see it with you. Yeah, notes for next time. Rated R. Fuck it, just go
Yeah.
all in. Who
Make it
cares?
fucking R-rated. Make it a real horror
Ki-
movie.
Kids are gonna see it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
More Skeet.
what? Yeah, more Skeet, more Matt.
Less
And yeah, just
nonsensical writing.
yeah. If we could really just tighten up this story here,
Less
like I
of the
said, just like
personal, the weird. Like, I don't really care if Josh Hutcherson is being a good father to his sister. Like, I don't
I
really
don't care
need
about his
that.
dates,
Yeah, it's something that Shay brings up a lot of like, I
the
think,
romance.
yeah, with like Abigail is like a good example of like, suddenly the mom is like talking about her son, and it's like, I don't really need this drama, this like family drama in my vampire ballerina movie, you know?
Yeah, well, the build, the unnecessary build up of like if like why the fuck can't the whole thing just be I'm sorry, but like I just want to do like a quick rewrite of this movie.
Yeah, please.
If the point of the movie is like I want it to take place almost entirely in the pizzeria and have it be that they need to find something in there or they need to prevent something. The puppet's trying to get out. We need to stop the puppet, you know, while Josh Hutcherson is like working in the security room, distracting the animatronics or something like that. Vanessa's going around, she's trying to find stuff, whatever, and the two of them are trying to work together while like to survive Five Nights at Freddy's while they figure out whatever bullshit they need to do. And then, you know, every once in a while, yeah, you have the spectral scoopers kids come in, you have some like random breaking and entering Willy's Wonderland style,
Yeah.
where like all these kids all come in at once and they all get fucking murdered. Just throw cannon fodder in there randomly. Have your, you know, as they sort of work through this goal or like this mystery they're trying to solve about the pizzeria, have those flashbacks of Matthew Lillard and Skeet, you know, as they're going through doing these things. Like have Vanessa walk into like some sort of kill room or whatever, and she has these flashbacks of, you know, her dad, you know, yelling at her about disturbing his work or whatever, you know. Show the scenes where Skeet isn't being a good father to his daughter, you know, where like she's just chilling at these fucking pizzerias all day, sitting in front of the trap door, you know, while this guy's going around murdering people. Like, show us Skeet not being there for her. You know, like,
Yeah.
we don't need all this bullshit about the science fair
Yeah.
and Faz Fest and, like, the brother wanting to go out and kill half the town and, like, we're just gonna break into random fucking houses and kill parents, because that's another thing for me of like the puppet, like the animatronics controlled by the puppet just go to random houses that have parents in them
Yeah.
or
Also,
have
okay,
couples in them.
the fucking remote control, Josh Hutcherson goes into the settings and remotely deactivates them after like someone's already been like almost murdered, and like he's been fucking around at this computer for an hour, and suddenly he's just like, I know what to do, and goes into like
Yeah.
an obscure
As
setting.
the animatronics are reaching for him, and he's like, "Oh fuck, 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 fuck," and he's scrolling through, fuck, 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 deactivate.
And I'm just like, why wouldn't you just do that immediately? Also, why did he have to stay? It's purely, I think that's the thing. Too much of it is contrived just to create these like specific, very specific plot scenarios that are like a vehicle to just like serve people bits of the games, and like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I said, just go full rated R, have the whole fucking thing take place at whatever location it is, or like, have those scenes outside of the pizzeria, but don't have it be most of the movie. Because I like the location of this one. It's a lot better in my opinion. Where
Yeah.
it feels more elaborate, but we're not there for nearly long enough. Where like most of it is at FazFest or at the school or at their new house that they're painting.
I will say, I do feel like it's very hard to make a cohesive narrative from like a multimedia empire that is as like vast and sprawling as you say it is.
You'd think so, but people have been cashing that check for 10 years now.
Yeah. But it's different when you're
Over
trying to
10
make
years.
like a cohesive movie, right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I don't know.
don't
I don't know.
I'm just gonna start writing scripts and just sending them directly
just,
to Jason,
just
just in the mail until I just get that phone call. Cause it just is.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
I mean, go see it. Don't let us know what you think. I don't know. But
if you're going to wear a costume to the theater, please do not wear one that has giant ears on it. Because you will block the people behind you, which is something I did see earlier today. Somebody had giant fuck off rabbit ears.
At least take them off once the movie starts.
Yeah, put the rabbit helmet in your lap. Yeah, do something. Don't just sit there. There was a guy who had a giant phone head, and he had it on for the first little bit, which first of all, I was like, how the fuck do you see anything? But then, just blocking these people because it was like this wide.
Yeah, I respect the costumes, but don't.
No, yeah, I
don't
respect
block
it,
people's
but
views.
have some courtesy. All right. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Until next time.